Hello everyone, my name is Jordan, also known as X-3. Today I want to teach you guys on Triple Threat Thursday, 3 different types of synths. Well, actually 2 of them are going to be a growl, and 1 of them is going to be a FM dirty anthem lead. So, let's get into this. I'm going to play a demo example of it all in practice, and then I'm going to show you each individually how I created this synth. So check it out. Okay, so in order to create the spread growl, what I'm going to do is basically not use a combinator since we're going to go through this very quickly. I'm going to basically throw in Thor and open her up. So what I'm going to do is change my first oscillator to a wavetable, and then I'm going to set it to square harmonics. For the position, I just raise that to probably about like 31. And I take it down 1 octave. I then use oscillators 2, sine wave, and I take it down 2 octaves. Very nice and pretty, but I'm going to throw up the drive a bit more, 82. So it's a little bit louder. I'm then going to go on over to my amp envelope, throw up the sustain, and for the 2 sources, oscillator 2 for the first one, 22 for the amount, and for the destination, oscillator 1 FM. Nice and dirty and nice and wobbly. Next thing, throw on your LFO for the second source, your second source modulation. Set this to 79 and set this to your filter 1 frequency. We're almost done. You want to set your key sync and your tempo sync to 1/16 on your LFO, and you also want to make sure keyboard follows up all the way. Okay, so in order to get that kind of like morphing sound, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on a Scream 4. I'm going to take the damage down to about 20. I'm going to take the type to tape. First one is going to be at 84 and the second one's going to be at 47. For my cut, I usually take down the mid and the highs a bit. Kind of like this rising down pattern. Turn on your body. You want to set your reso to about 81. Your scale, you want that to be 83, and your auto, you want that to be 84. For the type, you want this to be D. Yeah, just give the Scream 4 the D. In order to create kind of like a more unison, we're going to throw on a unison, like a more dual sound. I want to take my detune to about 20, and my dry wet, I'm going to leave 3/4 of the way around. Now the tricky thing and the most awesome thing to do is throw on a stereo imager, and since this is widening a lot of the low end, take the low band to mono, so that way you have everything not wide but actually mono. It's actually making the whole synth wide and then mono. I'm going to turn up my highs to 22. And then I'm going to just throw on a basic maximizer. And you can leave on limiter if you want, but I want to put mine on soft clip and set the amount to 127. And that's basically your spread growl. So I'm going to show you guys next, here in a second, what the other sounds sound like. Okay, so this is going to be for the second synth that we're going to show off, which is the Evil Chase Stab. Okay, so the Evil Chase Stab is not very hard to create, but I like the sound of it, so I'm going to throw in Maelstrom. And for the first oscillator, I'm going to change this to a square 16th. I'm going to turn up the motion up all the way. So it kind of creates this noise, and then I'm going to take the index somewhere in the middle. So it starts a little bit off course. I'm then going to set my shift to 12. And I want to turn up my octave to 1. 1 up, so octave 5. I'm then going to turn on my oscillator B and give it some more harmonics, I guess you could say, by setting it to a sawtooth, turning it up 1 octave, and turning your shift up to 12. Don't forget to take your motion all the way down. So it's basically syncing this first oscillator in with the second one by playing the same rate speed. I'm then going to plug both of these into filter B, turn up my filter all the way, and make sure my shaper is turned on, but make your amount pretty low. Otherwise, it will start to distort after a period of time. For filter A, I'm going to set this to a negative comb, and I'm going to set my filter frequency all the way down. Okay, after this, I'm going to basically make it a little bit better by throwing in a RV7000 advanced reverb. I'm not going to choose a preset, just set each one to a quarter. And then give a pulverizer a little bit of squash, so about 27. Next, throw in your stereo imager, set your low band to mono, and your high band to 24 wide, and you want to take your X over frequency to about 340. Next, you want to throw in a maximizer, tidy it all up, set your release to auto, take off your limiter, and turn on your soft clip and set the amount to full. So there's basically your evil chase type of sound. So next I'm going to show you guys how the third synth we're going to make. Okay, so the third synth kind of sounds like this. Okay, in order to get that type of weird FM synth, we're going to create a combinator. Or actually no, let's just create a subtractor. I'm going to go over to my first oscillator and take the phase all the way down. I want to set this to a positive algorithm and take it an octave down. Sounds like a low fuzz bass. I'm going to turn up my FM by changing the sound to 36. I'm then going to turn on my second oscillator and take this to a square, take it down 2 octaves, and set it to a positive algorithm. Okay, so now I'm going to turn up my filter frequency up all the way, so we get a little bit more buzz. I'm going to set my rate to 109, and I'm going to set my amount up all the way. This is going to affect our filter 1 frequency, and I'm going to make sure this is a rising down saw. You can't hear it now, but when I turn on my mod envelope to our second oscillator, I'm going to turn up my amount to full, and I'm going to set up my sustain somewhere below the middle line. Sounds like a very nice hollow sound, but we're going to squash this to about 25% with pulverizer. I want to also throw on a unison, take the dry wet to about a little bit above a quarter, and the detune somewhere around that same range. very nice and wide. Throw on your stereo imager, take your low band to mono, and set your high band all the way up. Okay, then throw on a maximizer to make sure this synth doesn't blow up your speakers. Set your release to auto, turn on your soft clip and set the amount to full. And there's your Anthem synth that sounds a little bit distorted. I'll check you guys out tomorrow for Info Friday on some of the newest upcoming synths and news for the electronical musical world. See you tomorrow. Have a good one and peace. Hello everyone, my name is Jordan, also known as X-3. I want to say thank you guys so much for following me. It really does mean a lot. I hope to deliver some of the best new fresh content every day, along with some of the newest techniques I learned with just experimenting with the program, and some crazy stuff happens. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys so much. So in about 13 days my album is going to be released. I know I've said it quite a bunch, but I'm actually going to be doing lyrics right now to kind of get myself into the mode. They're only going to be basically short songs, but it's something. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good one. It'll be a free download, and yeah, I hope you guys have a great journey. Peace.